Hi, my name is Dylan Ryan. I've been playing as a full-time musician for about the past 4 years now, but I've been playing in bands for about 12. Ever since I quit my normal day job about 4 years ago and decided to take music full on, I knew that there would be a lot of obstacles with my mental health that would go along with taking an untraditional career path. And as I said, I was full aware of this and the challenges that it would bring. But, I've found in the last 4 years, I've found a lot of different ways to sort of, realize these things as they're happening and to be able to apply a certain tactic to get through these things. And it's still a work in progress. I'm still learning every day how to deal with these things. So I just wanted to share today with you a few things that I do in certain situations to deal with when my mental health is in a bad place while doing music full time. The first thing is learning how to shut things off. And what I mean by that is you need to understand that most people that choose to do music for a living in whatever capacity, usually music is their passion. Like, a lot of people don't choose to do their number one passion as their job, but I think it's safe to say that most musicians, their passion is music. And I think that at some point you just have to learn how to shut it off when you're not doing it and just learn that it can wait a bit. This was really hard for me to get used to. For instance, a few years ago when I very first started doing music full time, like when I'd come home from a gig or I'd come home from being in the studio, it would just be constantly like, planning to do the next thing. And it was really starting to interfere with my relationship, a lot of my friendships. And that's really something you have to watch for. And just at some point, you just have to turn the computer off, turn the phone off. Even if someone in your band or your producer is sending you mix 3 of this new song, or someone's saying in your group chat, what do you think about playing this song? And I think that you just have to turn it off for a bit and just give like a few hours or a day or whatever you need to your personal life and the people that are in your personal life. And because really, it's like any career. Your career can wait. Sometimes you just have to turn it off. If you're a baker, you don't go in every day and, it's not a 24 hours a day thing. Like, you're always going to be a baker at the end of it. Or if you're a construction worker, there's a clock in and a clock out time. You can check in on things from once in a while, but it's really important to make sure that your personal life is intact. And just set boundaries within the day that say, well, I'm going to have supper with my wife, or we're going to do this together. Even if it's small things throughout the day or whenever you have time, it's about making that time that differentiates your career path from your personal life. The next thing is, a lot of people bring this up to me. They get quite shocked when maybe I'm a bit more reserved of a person, or I say that I'm shy around people or have a lot of anxiety talking to people. But they say, oh, you're so comfortable on stage. It's like you move around so much and you're so interactive with the audience. And I think that to the average person that's like watching us do what we do, they don't really realize that the career path that we've chosen, and even if it's not the career path and you just love playing music once in a while, I think that they don't realize that that's a comfort zone for us. We don't always get nervous about gigs because we feel comfortable like emoting this to people. Like, that's our form of expression. I certainly know that there's a lot of obstacles for me when I'm playing in a bar or a venue of any sort, is when I'm on stage in, say, the room is packed, I feel a lot of anxiety when it comes to my 15-20 minute break and I'm coming off stage and, there's people that want to talk to you and like tell you, oh, that was a great set. And I'm super appreciative about it. And I think most musicians would say the same thing. But when I'm getting off stage, sometimes I'm almost running for outside because I kind of feel overwhelmed by the amount of people that are in the building, or like 5 or 6 people wanting to talk to you at once. And I've gotten better about this over the years and just trying to find a way to deal with that. And I would say the best thing that you could do is sort of gravitate to if there's 1 or 2 people that you know in the bar, just go and, have your drink or whatever, standing with them. And if other people come over, it might make the situation a little bit more comfortable, knowing that you're with someone that you trust and are comfortable with. But I've sort of gotten in the habit of trying to socialize with people more, but it certainly takes some time. A lot of times I'll just sit at the bar, even if I'm not having a drink, just so I can kind of sit down and be within my own thoughts. And, it's much more easier to take on like 1 person or 2 people at a time that way than kind of be walking through a bar or a venue or walking outside. So yeah, I would say gravitate towards 1 or 2 friends or acquaintances that you might know in the bar. And if that's not a luxury that you can have at that given time, just hang out at the bar, or just kind of wean your way into it, because it's certainly overwhelming, but it comes with the territory, and it's definitely something that all musicians should work on, is getting to know how to talk to the people that are coming out to support you, and, just seeing what they're all about. This is something that I have struggled with endless amounts of times over the past few years. There's been times that I've been offered 2 gigs in a weekend, and I say, okay, that's my weekend. Then someone says, oh, can you play the afternoon on a Saturday, when I already have a gig that night? Then you get another opportunity. Hey, can you play this thing from 11 to 1 on Sunday? And you think, oh yeah, I can swing that. But you got to really think to yourself, am I going to be in the right mental and physical state to be able to perform and do this with justice? And you got to gauge that against, am I going to be able to do it with justice, or am I just doing it and barely getting through it? I would much rather go out there and give people the 100% performance of what I'm capable of than going out there in a horrible mental state or a horrible physical state where I'm tired and fatigued and just my mind is all over the place. That's not going to give the best performance. And I think it's just about knowing how much you can take on in a certain time frame where you're going to be able to be on your A game. I've sort of just set it up that if I'm playing anywhere upwards of 3 or 4 hours, there needs to be at least kind of 15 hours in between gigs. And if there's times like in a day where you get asked to play like 1 hour somewhere in the afternoon and you're playing a 4-hour gig that night, yeah, that's something I might be able to swing because it's just a quick sort of in and out thing. But I think you got to learn like what are the limitations of what you can do mentally and physically, because you don't want to run yourself down where you're becoming extremely fatigued with your with what you're trying to do mentally and physically. Try not to compare your success to someone else's success, because really success means something different to every single artist in this world. Every single person in this world, no matter what you're doing. I have a complete different view of things than I did 4 years ago. 4 years ago, it was all about, how can I play in front of the most amount of people? How can I get my music out to the most amount of people? And I'd rather kind of take a more organic approach to things now and just sort of find a way to be doing music in some capacity, like on a regular basis all the time, and let things grow at their natural progression. Every year I see, more interest in the band, or more people engaging with our songs, more people showing up at our shows. And I think that's fantastic because I think that's what you have to do to kind of stay in this business, is accept that not everything is going to happen at once, and your success is going to grow over time. You just got to be patient and understand the ebb and flow of being a full-time musician. To continue on the topic of the ebb and flow of being a full-time musician, I really think that you need to come to grips with that to have longevity in this business. I started my my band, Dylan Ryan and the Dream Romantic, in 2013. We're just celebrating 7 years as a group. And really, the key to keeping a band together that long or longer is just understanding that you're going to have dips and arcs in your career where there's going to be times where it seems like nobody cares what's going on, or nobody is bothering with what you're putting out. And there's going to be times where it seems like, oh yeah, this is the pinnacle. Like, it couldn't get any better than this. And I think it's best to just not let either one of those two things go to your head, so you stay a bit more level about things. Because I think that if you get too excited about like the success that you're having, not to say you shouldn't be happy when good things are happening, but just understand that you know, there is going to be different arcs in your career where things might not be going so well, and you have to be prepared to take that mentally if you want to continue and have longevity. You know, without saying any names, I've saw lots of bands come and go in the 7 years that I've been a band. Maybe they expected too much in the beginning, and really, like, not everyone's in it for the long haul. You just have to understand that there's different peaks in your career, and you're going to have moments where everything is great, and sometimes things aren't going to be as great. Learning how to deal with both constructive and non-constructive criticism. This is something that I think a lot of musicians struggle with at first, but certainly get better with over time, is knowing the difference between constructive and non-constructive criticism, and knowing how to handle both. When you're a young aspiring songwriter or musician or singer, you can get very kind of pig-headed, and you just don't want to let anyone have an opinion. But the fact of the matter is, you should be letting outside opinions in, because you're never going to learn and develop and kind of hone your craft if all you know is the set of things that you know already. Like, I remember demoing a bunch of songs that I wrote and bringing them into a producer for the first time, and he just immediately said, "Oh, well, I don't like that part," or I don't think we should use this." And I was just so shocked that someone thought that my verse wasn't amazing, or he didn't see it the same way that I did. And I think that those outside opinions of people that have more experience in the field are very valuable, and you should try and learn from as many people as possible. And it's not that they're necessarily better than you at songwriting or singing or whatever it may be. It's just they have more experience, and they're refined in the subject, and they can go through trial and error a bit easier because they know what's going to happen if you do this particular thing. You know, sometimes you can get very, as closely connected as you are to your own art, sometimes that's a dangerous thing because you can't see the imperfection in it, or the, maybe not imperfections, but the things that could improve it. And I think the outside perspective of someone that sees things a little bit differently than you can really help you benefit. Yeah, you should never be scared to learn from someone else. But that's for constructive criticism. Non-constructive criticism is a totally other thing. And you have to learn to just sort of brush that off. Because the fact of the matter is, not everyone is going to like what you're doing. And that is fine. I would say there's something alarming if every single person that you ever met liked what you did. You know, I think most people would say the most popular groups of all time, whether it be the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, whoever it might be, they don't even have a situation where every single person likes their music. So why should that apply to you? Don't try and make your whole goal for everyone to like and support your music. Just do what you do, try and improve from constructive criticism, and just, the people that are going to like it are going to like it. And the people that won't, and that's okay. I can remember a time a few years ago, I just started playing acoustic shows because I was more sort of used to playing in a full band setting, and I was still getting kind of comfortable with things. A guy came up to me and said, "You're playing well, it's just not doing anything for me. It's not hitting me." And I thought, well, okay. But throughout the night, a bunch of people told me that they really enjoyed the set. But when I went home that night, I was reflecting on things, and I was reflecting for a few days after, and all I could think about was the one negative comment that I got from someone. I didn't concentrate on all the positive that I heard that night. If I've learned anything in the past couple years is to, concentrate more on the people that do like what you do, because he was not wrong in saying that or expressing that, because that's just how he feels. Like, if he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. It's not constructive criticism in that he's trying to help you. It's just criticism in that it's just not for him, and that's okay. Awards and accolades should not measure your worth and success as a musician. There's countless examples of bands throughout the years that have had a major impact to the music community and aspiring musicians that have never been given awards or had chart recognition or even substantial airplay. These are all just sort of subjective things. It's not to say that you shouldn't be happy when you do achieve something like this, because you definitely should be. It's nice to be acknowledged for your work and the hard work that you put into it. But you should never think for a second that, oh, well, I didn't get nominated for an award, or I didn't get this, or I didn't get to showcase at this, that your art is not worthy, because that's totally not the case. Some of these things can be very subjective, and there's a lot of politics involved to this. And it can really sort of affect your mental state and like how you want to go forward as a musician. And I think you just kind of have to nail it in your head that, awards and chart recognition or whatever it may be are just all just, kind of the luck of the draw. There's amazing artists that never, ever, ever reach any of those kind of heights. Yeah, it's just one of the realities of the music business, is that not everyone is going to be recognized. I could make the analogy that there's a lot of bands that have never made it, a lot of famous bands that have never made it in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and their fans are just completely outraged. Like, they couldn't imagine why this band is not in there. But if you dig a bit deeper, sometimes there's a bit more kind of politics and stuff behind the scenes that, there's only so much someone can do to achieve these things. And I think you should not put your focus on, trying to win awards or anything, or not even trying to win awards, or just expecting that you should be patted on the back with that, because then I think you're doing things for the wrong reason. You should just concentrate on making the best art that you possibly can, and just every show that you do, every song that you put out, just putting 100% in. Not getting too wrapped up in social media and the numbers on social media. I think that, most musicians are probably guilty of checking to see how many engagements they got on their last Facebook post, or seeing how many Instagram followers they have, how many Spotify listens they have. These are all just tools to help promote your music, but you should never gauge your success by just watching the number system, because sometimes those don't reflect exactly what's going on. Sometimes a band could have 20,000 followers on Instagram or Facebook. That doesn't mean those people are going to your shows. It doesn't mean those people are buying your album. It's just an internet click. That's all it is. You know, it's not to say that everyone that's clicking on your song on Spotify likes it, or if they're even listening to all of it. You know, put your focus on the people that are showing up and taking a genuine interest in what you're doing. This sounds like an easy thing, but you know, any anxiety that you have about playing a show or going into the studio or, you know, doing an interview with someone or doing a live session, I think if you just come to terms with that things can and sometimes will go wrong, it just kind of relieves a lot of the anxiety that goes with being a musician. In the past 5 years, I've played about 400 shows, and you know, there's been some really awful ones over time where, you know, equipment has broken on stage. I was playing an out-of-tune guitar. I couldn't hear myself singing, so I was singing out of key for a few songs, you know, breaking strings. These things just happen, and they're sort of out of our control. It's about how you adapt and make the best out of the situation. You know, when these things are going wrong on stage, don't show frustration, don't panic, just sort of go with the flow. The people that are there watching you, they're there with you, they're there for the experience, and what's happening is just a human thing. These things can go wrong, and you know, it happens in any profession. Things just don't always go 100%. You know, when I was at a point in my career where I was only playing maybe 1 or 2 shows a month, or 1 or 2 every 2 months, like if I had a bad show, it would really weigh on me. And, you know, it would take me probably like a week to really deal with the emotion that that brings. And I think that you just got to realize that if you're in music for the long haul and for a career, you have to understand that things are going to go wrong, just like in any other career. You're not always going to have the best work day, and you have to treat it like a work day. Some days are good and some days are bad. And I think that if you go on stage or in the studio knowing that, it makes things a lot easier for you mentally.
I saw you down on the ground by the river of past reflection. It can fill your heart with so much fear. It echoes in the distance from an old and a different place. Reflections keep resisting in a vent of grand mistake. Mirrors with no reflection, another savior from the pain. Stories with no ending, nothing lost, nothing gained. 'Cause if we meet today, I'll tell you words that I never did say. If it's all a dream, not looking back and I'm making future now. I saw you down on the ground by the river river of past reflection, it can fill your heart with so much fear, screaming for attention, or like a hound without its own, living in a river, separate from the unknown. Deep in the grey wide open comes a bittersweet memory, joyful division of a sad in time, the themes of you and I. 'Cause if we meet today, I'll tell you words that I never did say. If it's all a dream, not looking back in a making future now. I saw you down on the ground by the river of past reflection. It can fill your heart with so much fear. I saw you down on the ground by the river of past reflection. The water sings so softly in your ear. When I saw you down on the ground by the river of past reflection, it can fill your heart with so much fear. I saw you down on the ground by the river of past reflection. The water sings so softly in your ear. My past life, precious dear. This next song is called Anxiety Love Song. Let's go! Oh, motion sickness up and down, side to side, it's all around. Can't believe this happens to me. I'm so never step away, just don't have the words to say. My intellect's on holiday. Oh, don't talk to me. I'll trade your quirks for your apathy. Don't talk to me. I'm not the guy that I want you to see. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. I'm not the man that I want to be. Ooh, it's not the sign of who I am, and I don't think you'll understand me. Oh no, 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 no. It's not the way I really am. I'm just afraid of what I can and cannot do. Oh no, 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 no. Adrenaline sets in. I can think of anything. I might as well abort mission. Hyperventilating now. I don't know when or how. My simple mind just won't allow. Oh, don't talk to me. I'll trade your quirks for your apathy. Don't to me. I'm not the guy that I want you to see. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. I'm not the man that I want to be. Ooh, it's not the sign of who I am, and I don't think you'll understand me. Oh no, 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 no. It's not the way I really am. I'm just afraid of what I can and cannot do. Oh no, 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 no. It's not the sign of who I am, and I don't think you'll understand me. Oh no, 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 no. It's not the way I really am. I'm just afraid of what I can and cannot do. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. This song's called In a Moment. 'Cause in a moment of despair, you don't even care. Overflowing, forever growing, once again, you don't even care. 'Cause I can't waste my time. Oh, I can't do the crime. 'Cause I can't waste my time. I can't do the crime. 'Cause in a moment, a special moment of despair, you don't even care. Overflowing, forever growing, once again, once again. 'Cause I can't waste my time. Oh, I can't do the crime. 'Cause I can't waste my time. 'Cause I can't do the crime. This next song is called I Could Have. days. In the so-called teenage days, I could have loved you more. Oh, whoa. A long 200 days, a dark and violet grey, is all will be all yours. Oh, whoa. And I know we feel it's a bittersweet voice of reason, yet to know all those times that change, and to feel our love is dying like a tidal wave. What know you feel is true. He could have loved you more. Why should I've known you more? I always heard you say the pretty girls make graves. I would have swam the shore. Oh, whoa. A special kind of way. This fate is on delay. I would have swam the shore to show I love you more. And I know we feel it's a bittersweet voice of reason, yet to know all those times that change, and to feel our love is dying like a tidal wave. What know you feel is true. He could have loved you more. Why should I've known you more? Why could I've loved you more? He could have, why should I've, why could I've known you more? Oh, oh, oh. All right, this is the last song. This is called The Story. Thank you so much. With the seasons of no love, for the reasons just because we're lost in a cold, cold heart, we're together as one. There's moments of the day without a single word to say. We're turning dreams around, 'cause I cannot bear to see you frown. Oh no, oh no. Woo-hoo! Please sing a sonnet or a poem of a blissful state of mind, and it might just be before our hearts divide. With the stars at the back of love, for the reasons just because I just can't picture you with no one else. The seasons of no love, for the reasons just because the rose turns grey with all dismay, a symbol for our faded love. Oh no, oh no. Oh, can you please repeat the story? I lost my place somewhere down the line. Please sing a sonnet or a poem of a blissful state of mind. It might just be before our hearts divide. Oh, can you please repeat the story? I lost my place somewhere down the line. Please sing a sonnet or a poem of a blissful state of mind, and it might just be before our hearts divide. Thank you.